Welcome to Return of the Obra Dinn, a detective game in which we are tasked with boarding a ghost ship and unraveling the mystery of what led to its fate. Now, I am super excited for this one, a ghost ship, of course, being a ship that was found without a crew. And it's because it's combining several things that are right up my alley. First of all, detective gameplay. I've always loved things like the Nancy Drew games and the Paynes Creek killings. But also nautical horror and all the superstitions that come with that. I believe this takes place in the early 1800s, but we'll learn the specifics as we get into it. You guys have been recommending this for a while. I've wanted to play it for years, and I am just giddy to be here. Although it starts off silently with only the sounds of the waves, that music quickly makes us forget and gets us ready for an adventure. I don't know how much of a horror element there will be to this, but those things certainly go together well because, well, eeriness can be offset by a desire to know more. This is created by Lucas Pope, as you can see, who is also the creator of Papers, Please, which was another excellent game from way back in the day. That feels weird to say, but let's begin. No fate solved. Lost at Sea, 1803. The good ship Obra Dinn, built 1796 in London. 800 tons, 18-foot draft. Captain R. Witterell, crew 51 men. Last voyage to Orient Cape Rendezvous unmet. Contact East India Company London office for inquiries or testimony. The Honorable East India Company. Attention, Chief Inspector, Insurance and Claims, London office. The Obra Dinn has returned. Dispatch to Falmouth immediately and prepare a full assessment. Falmouth, England, 1807.
Woke me up. Said you'd need ferry to the Obra Dinn. Not many eager for that job. Seems a bit late if you ask.
I didn't.
What's in the box?
I don't know. Hoist it up in a few minutes.
Hey! How?
Carefully.
Oh look, even in spite of this graphical style, it is fully 3D, and we can walk around. I was almost expecting point and click. Okay, we can zoom in with E, and sidestep with Q. Let's climb aboard, we have a job to do. So this was just found floating out here 4 years after it went missing. This, all alone on the deck of this ship on a moonlit night. Something happened here, but it seems to be in decent shape. Well, the sails are all in tatters, so it was at the very least immobilized. Also, don't think I didn't pick up on the name of that town, Falmouth. She said hoist that box up in a few minutes. Where are we heading first? Some cages on deck? I can see down below. We can't ring the bell, although you certainly can, and you should. I can climb back down. Okay, so anytime there's an object we can interact with, you'll reach out towards it when we get close. Useful. Otherwise, it seems like everything that's here is for me to know, and you to keep your mouth shut about. I don't even know what's in that box. Oh, there's a corpse right here, a skeleton. But I can't seem to interact with you. And that door is locked. Indicated by an X or a line, so this one will probably open. That is so cool how you'll reach out and wrap your hand around it even without me doing anything. So we've got a cabin here.
Oi! It's too heavy!
Maybe I can lower you something to use? Hang on, I'll get down there.
It's too heavy. Take it yourself or open it here.
Alright, so let's grab it. Return of the Obra Dinn, a catalog of adventure and tragedy. Are we writing our own memoirs as we go? Preface. Oh no, this is our commission. I trust that you now find yourself aboard the Obra Dinn. I expected this day to come, and my every intention was to tell the ship's strange tale within the pages of this book. Regrettably, failing health has allowed me to produce only the basic outline that follows. Your presence on the Obra Dinn is critical. I leave the discovery of its fate and the completion of this book in your hands. The next few pages will seem bewildering at first. All make sense in time. Use the pocket watch to determine the identity and fate of everyone aboard. Complete each chapter accurately, and return the book by guaranteed post to the French Office of Affairs in Morocco. The bargain chapter will remain unknown to you. I possess the details within, but have elected to keep them private for now. Henry Evans. We can mouse around. So, the journey. Here's the Atlantic leg of the route. Deck plans for the Obra Dinn, which we can examine more closely. We've got documents to work with. Sketches of life aboard the Obra Dinn. And perhaps we can identify these people based on this sketch. Underway. Formosa royalty. And there's a crew and passenger manifest. So we've got Robert Witterall, the captain. There's a pretty diverse crew here. A very diverse crew. 60 people in total. And it's our job to find out what happened to each and every one. But right now, there's nothing to write. Skim through the entire book first. Okie dokie. Back cover, we can press tab to open and close, or Q for contents. Interesting symbol on this page. I mean, are these chapter names not maybe a little bit, spoilerish? I mean, how do you already know this stuff? Unholy captives? And it tells us where we can learn some of these things, I guess. Or maybe these are different things that we'll piece together as we go. Wait, bargain. This chapter will remain unknown until you leave the ship and return the book to me. That sure is interesting. Seems like you know more than you're letting on. Well, you explicitly told me so. Memento mortem. Remember death. There's our watch. I suppose we'll have no need of the box itself then. That was really too heavy for you? I mean, when I first saw the watch in there, I kind of thought maybe there was a safe built in. That would make more sense. As it stands, I really can't believe you're a seaman. Well, we've got one corpse right here already. And now we can use that.
take more than those shells!
You bastards may take exactly what I give you!
We actually see the past directly. They were trying to break into the captain's quarters. He emerged and shot this crew member. And something much more must have happened, first of all because there was apparently a mutiny in progress, but also because no one ever removed your corpse. Oh, look at that, we can actually see it exploding out of the barrel like that, the fragments hanging in the air. We cannot walk past you. Question is, what do we do now? We cannot open these doors. I can back through to here, but it only allows me to go so far, and getting close causes me to come back. I can see others climbing around up there as well. You immediately open up to the end, and mark down the location of the corpse, and immediately ask us the question we should be investigating. Who is this, and how did they die? We know that these two men were present. This was the one who was shot. Unknown memory. This unknown soul met an unknown fate. We can even see a full transcript of what went down. Well, the fate is certainly not unknown. They were shot by a gun. By an unknown attacker? No, it was Robert Witterell. This is so cool. I mean, we're basically just plugging it in, but we do have the opportunity to be wrong. It's not just moving forward like a walking simulator. Now we just need to find out who he was. You were holding a hatchet. There's a guy up here with what looks like a knife in his mouth. In fact, we can identify you with the information that we plugged in. You, we don't know. So what of up here? Memories where this person appears can be navigated from here. The soul appears in one memory. Oh, there's a whole UI for this. Bookmark all memories where they appear for quicker navigation. Okay, I'm gonna need some time to get to grips with this. There's actually a lot going on here. But yeah, it wants us to just explore this whole place and try and gain a complete picture, one small little vignette at a time. Oh, and when we look at the map like this, we can see where we're standing. You can see our little footsteps moving around there. All right, others were present. Other than that, I think I'll step out of here for now. I don't know if we have the means to figure out who that was. But we sure know what he did. Let's get in here, too. See, I don't know if we could find all that out in there, or if I'm jumping the gun right now by trying to move forward. We can get into here as well. Doesn't seem to be anything. Oh, let me out. But it seems like the captain didn't get much farther. Actually, maybe that's not the captain. There's a couple of additional bodies here. Oh, what a view they would have had, huh? Looks like maybe a couple of knives, unless those are just supposed to be cracks in the wood.
Where are they? Must be in here someplace.
They're at the bottom of the sea.
That's a lie.
So there's a fight in here. They came looking for those shells, whatever that means. Somebody's leaping down from here. Oh, I see. So the captain being barricaded in here, that's a potential weakness. In fact, I bet... Yeah, you're the guy who was going up and over the top. You were trying to get the drop on him. Look at that. So it looks like you had your throat cut. You came in with a spear of some kind. Maybe you got him in the shoulder? Maybe. Hard to say. So this person, how did they die? The only thing that's kind of annoying to me is that it seems like it wants me to be able to make out their faces, and I really just can't. Like, sometimes I'll look at these things and be like, well, you actually look kind of more like somebody else that's here. Ooh, we can zoom in. And that shows me who you are. Okay, so we don't. It's actually got something built in for that. You're you. You're the other one in that scene, so you are the captain. But what about you? You're also present, but it doesn't highlight you. No, you were something more that we had to discover. We had to walk around to find you moving over the top. We had to walk around to find you jumping down. I would bet that you're the one who struck the killing blow on the captain, right? Well, I guess we'll have to find out. Maybe there's two bodies here. Maybe he could get out of this yet. This is such a cool way to present this story. All right. So you were knifed in the throat. There you go. By Robert Witterell. Oh, hey. Justice at sea. I've only just realized... Look at that. You're hanging that person by the waist and subjecting them to a firing squad. All right. You there. We need to figure out, you are presumably Captain Witterell. This person's face is no longer blurred, which means that they can now be identified. Use the book and the pocket watch to gather enough information to deduce their identity. Revisit memories on the ship using the pocket watch to study relationships, appearances, and activities. Use the book maps, crew manifest, and artist sketches along with the individual conversation logs to find clues about names, relationships, appearances, and roles. I am gonna get so into this, you guys have no idea. There were 60 people on the ship when they left England. Determining everyone's identity and fate will not be easy. Decisive information is rare. You will have to make assumptions using partial information. Some identities may only be revealed through a process of elimination. Good luck. So there is partial credit here. We'll probably be wrong about some things along the way. But I think we can call you Robert Witterell. There's an unknown officer as well. There we go. And presumably we can change that as we go. I love that. I love how it's so open-ended, because this is where so many detective games fail, is that they don't let the player be wrong. They don't let it be observation-based. It's just about, finding certain triggers that will tell the story as you go. Here, every aspect, it is so granular, is down to our own observation. And we can go back and revise and piece things together using partial info, and that's just how you do it. There was a game, I might still play it on the channel at some point, but there was a game by the Payne's Creek Killings developers called Scene Investigators, and it's gotten a lot of patches since it came out, so maybe I'll try it again, but I really didn't like it, because it also tried to do the partial information thing, but the issue that it had was that it wanted you to definitively put down an answer based on assumptions, and that was what killed it. This seems like it's far more equipped for that kind of thing. We can actually exit this room. Let's leave and look at that other corpse. You there. Oh wait, have we marked who this is? I mean, yeah, presumably that counts. Open the book while the pocket watch is open to flip directly to the relevant page. Okay. Okie dokie. So we do have you. As for you... Look at that, you are a true Chad. You actually took that thing which you had been stabbed in the shoulder with and turned around and just brained that guy who thought he was being sneaky. Excellent strategy. You took down 3 on your own, but you did get a stab wound in the back. Yet your body isn't here. There's someone in the bed right here. Who are you? You did appear in the deck sketch. I love this. So there's the scene that we're obviously looking for, but it actually makes sense to investigate the surroundings in these scenes because there are hidden features. See you there, sir. Wait, no, I was in the middle of a thing. Person present. Wouldn't that just be you? Yeah, no, that's just you. Who is this? How did they die? We can't determine who, but we do know that you were brained, or I suppose in this case clubbed, right? Unless that's a sword. I actually need to come back out and see. Yeah, no, I think that's a harpoon. And you're being clubbed with it, right? It's not bladed. I'm pretty sure that's blunt. We'll say clubbed. By Robert Literal. Captain, open the door. Right, so they were saying open the door. The captain was the one in here. So if we take this scene for what it is... Oh my, what a Chad. They open the door, or rather they demand he open the door. He comes out, shoots him. Maybe the other one tries to rush him, gets killed in the knife fight. This guy sneaks in from the back, stabs him, gets brained. You are so freaking cool. And all the while, maybe he's protecting you. Open the book while examining a face to flip directly to the sketch. Okay. And that was you. We still don't know who that is. See, the thing is, there's something on your forehead. I can't tell if that's a shadow or a wound. But there's still something we're missing. If anything, that tells me we should come over here where we find 2 more bodies. You were sat in a chair with a gun. You were, in fact, dead in the bed.
Abigail. Your brother. My friend. I shot him. Dead. I'll be with you soon, my love. Please forgive me for everything.
So after all that, you shot yourself through the chest. So whoever this is out here, that's her brother. You shot yourself, you had already died, but your name is Abigail. That is a huge amount of information right there. And it forms some connections, that's the thing. Even if we don't necessarily get information, a connection is a huge deal. So that's our first confirmed full fate. No one else was present. Captain Witterall, who shot himself with a gun. Wait, can I not? Oh, unknown enemy beast. Or any name. Oh, but you know what? I could potentially... Yeah, no, there's a suicide option, so I need that. Suicide with gun. This one may or may not be correct. Fates are validated in sets of 3. Correctly identify at least 3 people and their fates to have the information typeset into the book. You can see everywhere you appear. Everything is so connected. It's got that really, like, slick UI, very much like Papers, Please, where everything is connected in a web, and it makes it really easy. Next, we'll have a look at Abigail herself. Okay, but to do that, we'll have to leave and come back, I think. So that's 4 fates in the end. I wonder, like, is it ever locked in, or can we revisit? Whoa! Whoa! Okay, so she came outside during the attack by some huge creature, and then was struck by a beam. Presumably you are Martin. Here's some others. It's you. Can we get upstairs? We cannot. Someone on the ground here getting ready to take shots, but I don't think it's going to do you any good. I did not expect this from the plot. Not at all. You've been torn in half. Someone with tattoos on his back. It's like walking through some nautical painting, depicting the fantastic destruction of a vessel no one would ever have learned the fate of. The Doom. Chronologically, we were starting at the end. Those people he killed, they may very well have been the last of the crew. He himself might have been the last one standing. The corpse was moved post-mortem, 10 others present. Okay, so you're Abigail Witterall. And you... You were struck by any number of things. Crushed, perhaps. I could say by beast. Would it be by rigging? Would the beams count as... I don't know what... We can actually probably consult the glossary for that. The network of ropes and chains supporting the masts. Okay, so that would not count. Let's have a closer look at what's actually hitting you. It's the mast, right? I could press space for action. What is this? What's happening? Oh wait, it's leading me over here. What is happening? You're leading me. I think I've just discovered a new mechanic, but it's very strange. I still need to go back and do the rest of Abigail after I figure out what to classify her as. Look at you. You were grabbed and torn apart by this thing. These still snapshots. Oh, look, there is an animal in the cage. We're being told this story in still snapshots and forced to interpret them into one cohesive story, out of order, and chaotically presented, but it's our job to kind of bring order to that chaos. Oh look, he threw several from one of the lifeboats. Unfortunately, we can't identify you from here. I imagine most of you will have been on the deck. We can begin identifying you little by little. Unfortunately, you don't offer up any words to help us identify people. But I definitely know what happened to you. No, you. You were torn apart by a beast. Other than that, not much I can do. By pressing space, I can be led to someone else, but not necessarily the person I'm looking at, not necessarily anyone I'm close to. This is a mechanic I still don't really understand. Oh no, it takes me right back to who I last entered on. No, I don't want this anymore. Okay, I actually Googled this because I specifically wanted to know the answer to this because the answer is right here, but very ambiguous in how it wants it worded. And what I learned is that it will actually accept adjacent similar answers. So that's going to be really helpful and probably cut down on the need to Google as time goes on. So we are going to say that you were crushed by rigging. Because somebody explicitly said that that does work, and that struck can also work. which is very useful to know. There we are. Now you, presumably you're Martin. Now I do think that the handful of the women on ship will probably stand out the most. They'll be easiest to pick out of a crowd. And so maybe they'll be a good part to start in? Because the more people we can get definitive answers for, the easier it will be to identify these things overall. I mean, the more we know, the more we can confirm, right? You were in the process of being pulled away by this beast. You were stabbing it. In fact, there's already a sword sticking out of that tentacle, so who knows if you succeeded. We can't really say for sure which of these are deaths. Only some of these allow us to be transported. I'm going to tentatively put you down as Martin. Because look, here you are standing in Justice at Sea beside Captain Witterell. So I gotta imagine you were pretty trusted, right? There we go. So who? Martin Perot, third mate. That would make sense. You appear in another memory as well. So we learned your fate. We learned his fate. They're the only two we've got the full picture on. You guys, we know how you died, but we don't know who you are exactly. It's this whole thing of being able to see bodies that aren't still here that's confusing me, and how we unlock that. Well, let's go back to this memory. Whoa. They tried to blow it up. With questionable success. Look, the whole ship was tilting over. It was being pulled down. You're all bound in this rigging. Big explosion right here, and it looks like there's someone caught in the middle. We can actually identify you on deck. This person's face appears blurred throughout the book. This blurring indicates that you don't yet have sufficient information to determine their identity. Trying to name them while their face is blurred would be unproductive. Carry on and pay attention. Faces will become unblurred when the information necessary to identify them has been revealed in some way. I mean, I can't tell blurred from unblurred. It's a sketch in a pixelated game. But we can't even guess as to your fate. We can await further clues. Please explain, or try anyways. I'll await further clues. So now we add this part. Only now will it add this. So now you're unblurred. Yeah, that's that's unblurred compared to blurred a second ago. You exploded. But these others who are present, you look like you fell down the stairs backwards trying to carry all these guns up. You're also someone important. But the thing is, unless we... Oh, you're the one who would be torn apart only moments from now. So clearly this didn't work. So that's you. The exploded one, presumably. I I guess we move below deck. So all we can really say for sure is they were attacked by some huge creature. In fact, we can see something out there. What is that? What is that? It's not supposed to be the reflection of the moon, is it? No. What do we do regarding you? But yet, they were attacked by some huge creature. The wife of the captain was killed, and in the aftermath, the remaining sailors were trying to break in. They attacked him, he killed them, and then shot himself. But what do they mean by shells? Did they maybe find something that caused that creature to attack? Let's have a look below deck, see what we can see. Huh. Looks like someone was crushed by the cannons. Can't open a lot of these doors yet. Now, this ship was decked out for war, like a lot of cannons. Although I guess it's for pirate readiness. Yeah, this thing starts swinging around, everything gets shifted. Wow. The whole below deck just becomes a blender. A lot of people falling down these stairs tonight. There's someone down there, a couple of people crushed. Alright. As soon as we're done investigating this scene, it'll take us out of it, and then we can start really piecing it together. We've got multiple people getting crushed. Like at least 3 people dead in this carnage. Or at least injured. Let's see. The shaking presumably indicates we can use the space bar. But, okay. You here. You were crushed. Wait, where is that? Crushed by a cannon. So there's you. Now you... No, it wants us to investigate the other one first, even if we can clearly see what happened. Yes? Oh, look at that. The cannon had its fuse lit as it was sliding, so it fired inside. Completely eviscerating you. Okay, you... Well, after we're done investigating this, we can mark you down. Several others present. This hadn't yet pinned you to the wall. That one died first. So now you're here. Who is this and how did they die? 2 people present for this part. Now you, sir. Come on. Yeah, you, sir, were blown apart by the cannon. Blasted by an explosion, but... Yeah, no, shot with cannon. By... By no one, really. You could say by beast, but... Actually, yes! Because it's being held by the tentacle. So you know what? I am actually going to give it credit for that kill. It definitely saw a hit marker in that moment, so we can put it there. Man, it probably wasn't even expecting that. What about you? Looks like there's someone under that. The Wicked Witch of the East, maybe? Someone else died in this scene as well. As for the other person in this scene, who are you? I mean, where do we find you? Not you. You're actually the one who was clubbed later, so... Yeah, no, both of these guys who were later killed were down here and survived all this. You're torn apart later. Wait, we'll just... Yeah, no, you. 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 Thank you. So that kind of takes us between all connected thoughts. This is... Moving between things is a little clunky. But it's not the worst by any stretch. There we go. Oh. Wait. You're the one who would be shot by the cannon blast, so presumably you would be the one that actually killed him. You were crushed by the beast. Oh, you would both have died there then, wouldn't you? This soul was also exploded by the cannon, right? You would also have been shot by the cannon. But the attacker... Would it count as the attacker? This is during the beast attack. So I'm not sure how you would count this. That's the problem. Some of these are fairly ambiguous in what it wants. So there's you trying desperately to keep this thing from sliding. I mean, it says you're here. I can't see you. There you go. And then there's you getting crushed by this thing. And you were crushed by the cannon. Or the beast. What do I count that as? I mean, presumably that still counts if there is some leeway? You're crushed between the cannon and the wall. You're crushed by a loose cannon. Fine. But where did that other one go? That door's not open. Did you just get completely vaporized? It says that that guy died in this one, but I can't even find him. So now I'm not so sure. I'm just gonna leave and look around some more. I mean, whatever happened below the gun deck, it's just a huge mess. Everything during the Doom is just a huge mess, which I guess makes sense. The problem is trying to make sense of it. There's a cannon in the cabin. This can't be safe. Nobody here. And we only speak corpse. We do seem to have quite a unique ability. And I wonder if there's going to be something in-universe to it. I said open. There is a body in here.
No, you're cut.
Don't leave me.
Bear up, son. I'll stay with you.
Tell Pete's mother I tried my best
Aye.
to pull him back, to save him.
You tell her yourself. Brennan! Bring the surgeon's kit!
There are names in there. Said you were cut. Who else is here? You're running downstairs? I've seen you before. We've got 2 more bodies right here. Your head is completely taken off. God. And you're holding a club. Did you kill them both? Escape. This is only in the final stages. In the midshipman cabin, 3 others present. Okay, now, no, you're cut. Don't leave me. Tell Pete's mother I tried my best to pull him back. Brennan, bring the surgeon's kit. So Brennan may be one of the others here. But it's giving us the opportunity to see more. There's got to be a recommended order of operations. Like, we're not even supposed to start guessing until we've unlocked all of these memories, right? So let's do it. This is but one of the other bodies. But we still have to physically go over here. Like, why can't we just go to that other memory from the first one? Yes.
What's all this, you damn fool?
You came down, saw that body, were attacked from behind by this person. In fact, I believe I recognize you from the attack, from the mutiny. Yeah, you were the one that was taken out by the captain. You came down the stairs. There was another body right here, knifed in the back. So this guy was just down here killing everyone. You shot him a whole fight, although who the factions are and what they're fighting over is a little unclear. All we know is that for you to be on the ground, this is before that previous scene. It was only after everything had settled. So we've got this. It wants us to head towards more things. But you were clubbed over the head. Right? You're who we're supposed to be worried about. Clubbed. And the attacker is an unknown, but we don't know his name. That's the problem. We just have such a lack of names. Meanwhile, you were taking out this guy. Maybe the one who was shot was an accomplice. Anyway, you want me to have a look at you. Who, you know, you're right here. But don't let that stop you from making us wait a bit. Let's have a look.
Captain Cameron.
You have a plan?
Yes. Take ship and sail east. Trade treasured fish and shells for gold. Hey, who's there?
Mutiny! Mutiny!
Fresh bastard.
No!
So it's exactly as I thought. They were down here conspiring against the captain. Someone tried to alert them, and they had to do it live. Wait. Oh, look at that. Someone's being tossed overboard. But they didn't start out down there. I still don't know who's who in this. This person had already been stabbed. Okay, so. Yeah, it's really just chaining us along. A lot of people died to this. But as for you, sir, you're the one who it's asking us about, and you were shot with a gun. Now, as for the attacker, though, you're the one who was clubbed. So, both corpses on the ground, they killed each other. They weren't both killed by the ones standing over them. So, this here's a mutineer. This is an anti-mutineer who was later killed by mutineers coming to see what's going on. So, I would guess maybe that this... Alright, so I'm thinking that this dude right here stabbed this dude right here, and then got shot by this dude right here, who then got clubbed by this dude up here. It's the circle of life. So who are we looking at next? This dude up here getting thrown overboard. Oh, what a spiral this was. You couldn't ask for information this good in a detective story. And there's that weird spotlight still off in the sea. But I'm really interested to find out your story.
Let them go!
You came out of your cabin and shot this guy with a rifle. Meanwhile, these two guys are just going back and forth trying to figure out what's going on either side of them. You're pointing a gun of your own. In fact, that's none other than the captain himself. But you weren't the one who took the shot. There's another body on the ground here. We still don't know who you are. You're one of the ones we observed during the attack, so you presumably survived. $11 people present. Alright, let's just make sure that we're seeing the right thing. I want to get what information I can while we're here, but, you know, names are still lacking, and so we can't really complete much. You were shot. Not by an unknown attacker, we just don't know her name yet. And who are you down there? Who's the other one with you? But if we come down here, we can actually come down here. Ooh, it is always worth exploring. You see this? So you are chasing you with the knife. We can figure that out. Okay, you're the one who will be shot. Presumably by this guy, there's already blood on the ground. Are you hurt? You ended up being clubbed? Yes. Yes. So these guys were both in on it. And you here? You were knifed. And we can verify this in any of the memories. That's why it's so interconnected. So if we were to, say we're not sure if you're the one that ended up here for some reason, we could always go to that energy, we can look at you on the ground, and if it already says knifed, then we know that, okay, you're the guy that we did this for. It's very unclear as we go, and my problem is that I'm trying to find information within those spaces, but the little bits that we find as we go are going to make the previous bits easier to piece together. Now, in the meantime, we've got another corpse to examine. Oh, it's like sonar pings. That's right, we're right here. But show me these things, intuitive spirit. It is a little bit annoying having to do this whole song and dance for every single one. But whatever, it's better than a loading screen.
Last one. Move quick.
You'll not take the last one!
I see. Oh, they were trying to leave on a lifeboat. Just get out of here. They were caught in the act. You scrambled up here and stabbed him. You shot him in response, right? Meanwhile, here's the captain coming, presumably just trying to maintain order. He's got his pistol pointed toward the sky. Meanwhile, you're climbing up from behind him. Oh, you're a sneaky one. You're the one that he would later bash over the head. You were just kind of hanging out in the background like a monster in a horror movie for this entire struggle. The only thing is, I don't know who to root for here. Why wasn't the captain to be trusted? Wow, you're just getting pulled from body to body here. We can go down. You, obviously, seen getting stabbed. So you were killed by a sword. As for you, yeah, we don't. The problem is we don't know any names yet, but it's probably worth it to have a greater look around. These guys are coming. It's all the conspirators. He literally, like, between that guy, and that guy, they're the three that were all killed rushing this cabin. Good thing they took care of each other to an extent, huh? Meanwhile, down here, we've already got an injured man. We've got a dead one here. But we've no information on him just yet. In fact, it seems like you're pretty distraught at what happened. You, in fact, are the body we need to be looking out for. So there we go. I'm gonna have a hard time putting this game down and knowing where to stop it. I already know where you're going. So let's head over there. I'll race you. Just imagine I'm tapping my foot. Hello? Hello? Yeah, no, I'm waiting for you. I couldn't even hear your music. Oh no, you don't get to count that as winning the race. No, you don't. There, I'm gonna beat you anyway.
Put me down. Let go.
Easy now. You're in a bad way.
It's the squid. Where is my Frenchman?
The squid's gone. Your mate was torn apart.
The cat. The beast is dead. How? How did you kill it?
We didn't. It left with the storm. Captain came up from the hold. Said he chased it off. You should rest.
A curse like that does not live for nothing.
So we know that his companion was torn apart by the beast. He was injured, presumably during the attack. That still doesn't give us a lot of information for who you are or what happened to you. You came out of your cabin at this point. You're coming out of the hold. In fact, you're the one who tried to squeal on everybody. Meanwhile, the captain is leaving. So this is immediately before the conversation happens that leads to the mutiny. See, put me down, let me go. I don't know if we can really tell what happened to you. I mean, we can see that you died of your injuries. It looks like you're maybe missing an arm. Would that count as torn apart? So, during the escape, you get put down following the attack. A group tries to leave and gets stabbed on the way out. Who knows if they actually make it out. Then there's the conspiracy being discovered and a whole bunch of people killing each other. Actually, right now, the captain is just on his way up from the hold and is maybe even going to be ambushed when he's up there. Oh, okay, so I guess those are things we're right and wrong on? But can we go back and change them? That's my question. Disappearances. 4 wayward souls disappeared during the events of this chapter. Their fates are cataloged here. Alright, so we need to figure out what their deal is. I mean, I do have an idea. Like, for example, in an earlier scene, somebody was asked to bring the surgeon's kit, so maybe that would be... Well, we can check things like that against their roles in the log. You got something? I don't see a body. What is that? What is that?
On your toes.
Go back!
Here.
Captain!
Slack the lifts and lower the boats. The whole crew will be on us.
Give it up!
You took a hostage. Alright, so you were shot by this dude, who we do not know at this point. This is them stealing the opposite lifeboat. There's someone fallen right here. Someone who later exploded. You're getting on the ground. Are these the others getting ready to get into the other boat? We don't know who you are. There's a bunch of people here climbing out of it. Formosan royalty. So that's you guys, yes. They're not all seen together, though. Actually, wait, this guy looks like he has his hands bound. Meanwhile, you have got... Wait, what's that? What's up with your shirt? Are those just straps hanging down, or have you been stabbed with something? Chapter 3, Murder. This is much earlier. Corpse was moved post-mortem. Okay, no, there's more to go through, but I'm actually ready to wrap this video up now. I think I need to go back and look at some of this stuff, because it's starting to get very overwhelming. You were hit in the leg with a harpoon. We've not seen, or we have seen you before, actually. As for you, you were shot. Once more, that doesn't help us much. You're an officer. You're also Formosan royalty. So wait, so if we have a look, she yells for the captain. Oh, I see, they're not climbing up and out. They're trying to get him down. So this is a kidnapping. All right, let's see where this leads us then. Oh, there's someone hanging over here. Is this your justice at sea? Oh, we can go down to the hold now. So things are opening up as we go. Let's see what you're about.
Seng Lao, you have been found guilty by self-confession of the murder of Nunzio Pasquale.
Quiet.
As captain of this ship, and by the authority of the East India Company, and thus the Crown of England, I sentence you to death by firing line. Mr. Wolf, when you are ready.
Right, sir. Ready, men. Aim. Fire!
So, we do know who you are. We do know who you are. You are one of the royal guards. Alright, this is where we're gonna get some things done. And this is presumably where all of this starts. Who are you? You're also the other guard. Having to be restrained. They're watching this happen in this scene. You were the firing squad. So at least one of you ended up betraying the captain. You are presumably Mr. Wolf. You've got to be, right? Or hang on, let's find that out. If we check against, if we check against the crew, Christian Wolf is the gunner, an Austrian gunner. I don't think that's you, although you look like you're in position to be giving that order. This is the living memory of the sketch, though. So this is going to be a really pivotal scene for us to visit and revisit. 28 others present. Okay, so there we go. You are... where do we find you? They're going to be those from Formosa. Hak Seng Lao, a passenger. And you were... what do we put? I mean, you were shot, yes. But is there not a separate thing for executed? I suppose it doesn't matter. By several people. If we scroll through the log, we can actually see what we've put down for some of these people. This is an absurd number that we can't even start on yet. Let's find the next body. You right here. Once more, we have to go through a whole set of scenes just to find somebody who I'm literally standing on top of. You were accused of murder, however, I'm not necessarily gonna put you down as the murderer of whoever this is. Because, I mean, that's the accusation, we don't have proof. And it seems like this is probably the incident that starts the spiral.
Hello? Who is there? Who is that? Is someone hurt? Signore Nichols, is that you? What are you doing down here?
Hello, yes. All fine here. Just, sorting some things.
Watch your step. Here, let me help you.
Nichols. Edward Nichols, second mate. Alright. Alright. So you stabbed him. You also killed someone, and there's some kind of artifact in here, in the storeroom. Have we seen you before? You are the one who would end up being framed. Okay, you were trying to steal this, framed him for the murder of him, right? And then, okay, it's making it easy for us, but this is where we get our connections from. You were executed for that murder. And this guy is still in the shadows. We don't know what happened to him yet. So I wonder if this artifact doesn't come from that Formosan royalty. You were the one standing guard, and they were trying to get those two off of the ship. Corpse was moved post-mortem. Okay. Well, I don't know if we can quite find out who they are yet. Unless we already know. We don't. But you were knifed by Edward Nichols. There you go. Question then. Alright, there's our door. So all of this begins with a murder and a frame-up job and an attempted heist. Let's head back. Okay, I guess that's good then. And it actually maps out, like, where each of these happens chronologically. Which makes sense. I mean, all of this takes place on the ship, of course, but they're in motion the entire time. In other words, it did not take long for them to start killing each other. But what else do you expect? And just think, the actual murderer stood here and watched this execution take place. I have to put this down somewhere, and it seems like that time has arrived. But I'm really having a hard time doing so because it's really, really difficult to figure out anything definitively except for causes of death, and that is really the least important thing here. But every memory paints a clearer picture, and it's from there that I can start to surmise some things. now that we know that it's the second mate who seemingly starts this whole ball rolling, we can look at everything through that lens. And we know that there was a kidnapping of this Formosan royalty after their guards were essentially out of the picture. We know that there's an artifact that this person wanted to steal. We know that the captain ended up being the last man standing, defending his dead wife. And there's a creature, and my guess here is that even though we don't know much about the specifics, things are going to start to come together in a big way once key pieces of evidence are revealed. We found where a lot of these bodies ended up. We've learned what happened to them. But what we really need is to start attaching names to those bodies, and right now we don't have many. But as soon as we find one or two more, then we'll be able to place them at different scenes we've already seen, and then we'll be able to understand who they are in relation to others. We can make some guesses here and there, and I really think from there it's gonna start cascading. You know, I just realized, actually, the captain came down to the hold during that attack, and he said that he scared it off. Maybe it has something to do with that artifact the second mate wanted so badly. But finding that out, as much as I'd like to, is gonna have to wait until next time. Until then, if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this game out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.